For the Unit 5 test, first question, what is the value of the expression f squared plus 5 if f equals 3? You just replace the f with 3, and you get 3 squared, which is 3 times itself, so 3 times 3 plus 5 gives you 14. Second one, what's the value of 9x minus 4y if x is 3 and y is 2? You just substitute. So it would be 9 times 3 minus 4 times 2, 27 minus 8 gives us 19. Which property of multiplication is shown? Trick question. 14 times y times 1 equals 14y. Don't really have to worry about that 14 times y. You're putting it together anyway. The trick is the number 1. And any number times number 1, so any number times 1 is itself, and that is the identity property. The next term in the sequence, 3, 6, 9, 12, just goes up by 3. So it's 15, 18, 21. What are the next 3 terms in this sequence? 2, 1, 3.5, 5. Goes up by 1.5 each time. What's the next term in this pattern? For 0.4, 0.8, goes up by 0.4 each time, so it's 2. For this one, you just do the distributive property. 3 times the quantity of 2 minus 7, just 3 times 2, which is 6. And I'm going to change that to plus a negative. So 3 times negative 7 is negative 21. So 6 plus negative 21 is going to be negative 15. B. For number 8, I'm guessing that it has to do with the distributive property, so I'm going to go ahead right away and distribute the negative 3 times x and then the negative 3 times 10. So negative 3x plus negative 30, and I'll look at those and I see right there for h. For number 9, what is 7y plus 15 minus 7y minus 8? Looks like we're combining like terms. The first step that I would do is change the subtraction to a plus a negative. And then just following through with that, 7y combining with the negative 7y, that's 0. The 15 combining with the negative 8 is going to be 7, so it's D. For number 10, I'm just simplifying. Again, combining like terms, I'll take the negatives to subtraction and change them to addition. So plus a negative. So 6 minus 3x is the same as 6 plus negative 3x. And negative 3x minus 8 is the same as negative 3x plus negative 8. Then I would just combine the terms. So I get minus 2x plus negative 2, which is the same as minus or negative 2x minus 2. Factoring 25x plus 45, I need to find a common term or something that I can pull out of both. I know 25 and 45, 5 goes into both, so I'll probably try to pull that out. So it would be 5 and 5x plus 9. Doesn't look like I can pull anything out, any more out, and I do see it up here. It's letter B. Number 12 has parentheses in there. They're not really necessary because they're not a subtraction. I am going to take the 3x minus 7 and change that to 3x plus negative 7. Then I'm just going to combine terms. I get 15x, and I get 5 plus negative 7 plus negative 2, which also would be 15x minus 2, either one. And that's letter I. For number 13, I rewrote it so it's a little easier to see. It's the quantity of 3x plus 5 minus the quantity of x plus 2. A little trickier. I have to take that minus sign or subtraction sign and I'm going to change it to an addition. But then I have to, by changing that one, change everything inside the parentheses. So I change that to the opposite. So instead of 3x plus 5 minus the quantity of x plus negative 2, x plus 2, I change it to 3x plus 5 plus negative x plus negative 2. Then I just combine like normal. 3x and negative x, which gives me 2x. And then 5 plus negative 2, which gives me 3. So I get 2x plus 3, which is b. For this one, the expression 10a plus 4, identify the coefficient. It's the one with the variable. It's f, 10. For the first question, same as on the other page, 17x times 1 equals 17x. Anytime you multiply by 1, it's the same answer, so that's the identity property. Use the distributive property to write 6 times the quantity of w plus 5. You just distribute them, so it becomes 6w plus 30. And name the property that's shown by this equation. It's doing the same thing. It's just distributing 5 times 4 and 5 times g. It's just written backwards. For this one, I blew it up to make it a little easier to see. So I'm simplifying the expression. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change that, the minus 2, I'm going to change that to plus a negative 2. Then I just go through and distribute everything. I get negative 3 times 4x. That gives me negative 12x. Distribute negative 3 times 5, which gives me a negative 15. So I get plus a negative 15. I'm going to add, and then I need to distribute these. So a negative 2 times negative 5x is 10x. And negative 2 times 8 is negative 16. After combining these, negative 12x plus 10x gives me negative 2x. Negative 15 plus negative 16 gives me negative 31. So I get negative 2x plus negative 31 or negative 2x minus 31, both would count. For number 5, you're just adding the next 3 terms, and it's going up by 0.6. Greatest common factor between 6ab and 3a. 3a goes into both. And if you distribute that out, you would get b plus 1. The answer is 3a. For the next one, you're just adding them, putting them together. So negative 7x put together with 2x gives you negative 5x. And 1 and a negative 11 will give you 10. So it's 5x plus 10. This is another one of those tricky ones. First step I'm going to do is inside the parentheses, change those subtraction signs to plus and negative. Then, since I have a subtracting both of them, I have to change this to an addition, but then take the opposite of everything in that parentheses. So that negative 4x becomes 4x, and that negative 6 becomes 6. Then, just combining like terms, 11x plus 4x gives me 15x, and negative 9 plus 6 gives me negative 3. And that can also be written as 15x minus 3. For number 9, probably the best way to do it is just take 5 times 3 plus 10 cents. For the answer, I just really looked for 1550. For number 10, it's just distributing, but it has that subtraction sign, so it makes it a little bit trickier. So you need to change the subtraction to addition for both of them. So plus negative 3 times the quantity of b minus 1, and take that plus a negative 1. Distribute that out, so you get 7b plus negative 3b plus, and then negative 3 times negative 1 is just 3. Putting them together, you get 4b plus 3. This next one, just straight distributing. 9 times 3 is 27. Changing that to a minus plus a negative 16. 3 times negative 16 is negative 48. Some people left it as that. I gave it to you, but truly the answer should be negative 21. This next one is just strict substitution, just putting in the b equals 7 and the d equals 3. For 13, same idea, just substitute those numbers in. The next one's pretty much just putting it together. It's 130. And the last one, you can't reverse distribute, or you can't factor 13x plus 10 because no numbers will go into both 13 and 10. They're relatively prime to each other. And that's the answer to it.